A beautiful Tuesday. Hey, look. Yes, I'm listening to some music, just waiting to see who all is gonna come in. If I'm gonna get anybody on before I start talking, okay? Because you know me, the show must go on. Welcome to Coffee and Conversations with Carol. Good morning. You know, look here. They know God only knows, honey. Yes. You know, folks don't always have something to say about you, right? Mm-hmm. And you know, one thing that I was reading, and one of the things that I got out of the reading that I was reading, which was one of my devotionals the other day, and it says you can be aware of your circumstance. Good morning. You can be aware of your circumstances, but not preoccupied by them. And I think that's what happens with people. Not only are they aware of their circumstance, but they're preoccupied with them. They're thinking about it. They looking at them. They get distracted. They get distracted with it, you know. Alexa, turn music off. Again, yep. So, good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Conversations with Carol, where I come to you every day. Good morning, sisters. I come to you every day with some good old convo, right? So, like I said yesterday, I read my devotional, and it was about being unqualified. It was saying, "Are you feeling unqualified? Have you ever felt like you just weren't good enough? Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever felt like, I'm not good enough. I ain't good enough for this position, this relationship. I ain't good enough for this task or this assignment. I'm just not good enough. Have you ever felt like that? Well, let me tell you something. Yes, you said, sis, you said yes, you felt like that. I have too. I felt like that. I felt like this just ain't for me. I don't know what I'm doing. Here's the thing about feeling unqualified. You are qualified. Trust and believe the task that is at hand, that is set before you, you are qualified for that task. But here's the thing that happens with us. One of the key pieces that I brought out, that I read and I took out of that lesson is you can be aware. You can be aware of your circumstances. All right. You can be aware of them. You can know what's going on, be aware of them. That's good. Vigilant, aware. But don't become preoccupied. You can't become preoccupied with those circumstances. You can't let them, meaning they can't occupy your time. All right. You already know what's going on. So why even be preoccupied with it? You see what I'm saying? Why be preoccupied with it? Don't be preoccupied with that, okay? Sometimes people feel like they don't have the ability to do that certain task or that assignment, right? Right? They feel like they're not the ones that are capable of doing it. But trust and believe. God opens doors. So if he opened up that door, baby, you have the ability. He's gonna guide you. He's gonna give you the resources that you need. So trust and believe. Good morning. Good morning. You are qualified. You are qualified. All right. I want you guys to know that you are qualified. And that's why I tell people every day, you are loved, you are needed, and you are wanted. You are. There's a purpose for everyone. Everyone has a purpose. In the song God Only Knows, he talks about God only knows the real you. Only God knows. Only God knows what they say about you. Because somebody always saying something about somebody. I had a sister that told me this, honey. Bless her beautiful heart. Bless her beautiful heart, baby. I was going through something. She told me, she said, they're going to talk about you when you're doing good. They're going to talk about you when you're doing bad. So God only knows. God is the only one that knows. Honey, they're gonna talk about you because they're gonna always have something to say. And it's okay. It is perfectly fine and it's perfectly okay. All right. All right. Because they talk about everybody. Baby, look, they got missed out there in the news right now, honey. And he out here trying to defend his family and his name and everything. They gonna, baby, let me tell you something. When folks get to talking about you, they gonna talk about you. And sometimes social media can be unforgivable. It can be unforgiving. It can be dangerous, So hey, it is what it is. You have to know within yourself though. All right, that you are qualified, that you are good enough, that you have the ability. All right, you have to use those resources. I told them today on this morning, at 8 o'clock in the morning, I get on TikTok, by the way. And I go live on TikTok. Yes, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm over there. And then I come over here at 8:30. So one of the things that I talked about today was being intentional going into the new year. All right. And the reason I'm talking about being intentional, because I feel like if you become more intentional about doing the things that you need to do, then guess what? More doors will open for you. All right. In looking up intentionality, I learned that it allows you to consciously focus, all right, your energy and actions on what truly matters. That's what intentionality does. It allows you to consciously in your brain, all right, in your brain, focus your energy and actions on what truly matters. All right. Now, what else does it does? This is what else intentionality does. It leads us to a more purposeful life. I think you need to know the purpose of why you're doing things. And if you know why you're doing it, if you know your why and you know your purpose, then I think you are more intentional about doing the things that you need to do, whether it's at home, whether it's at work, whether it's in relationships, whether it's at school, whether it's at church. If you got a business in your place of business, we have business owners, we got people with careers. What intentionality? Be intentional about it. All right. If you feel like you're setting a goal for yourself for the new year, this is where I want my business to be. This is where I want my career to be. This is where I need to be. Then you have to be intentional about setting those goals and following through with them. Okay. This is what being intentional does. It increases your self-awareness. Okay. Being intentional increases your self-awareness. It makes you self-aware. It makes you, look here. Look. It gives you better decision making. Better decision making. You can make better decisions being intentional, and it gives you a greater fulfillment. So, you know what I hear when I say all that? Accountability. Being intentional holds you accountable. And a lot of times people don't have accountability. Good morning, TT. I love you too. I love you too. Your birthday coming up. Your birthday girl. You the birthday girl. Yes. I love you too, Amy. So, good morning. Good morning, brother Mike over there. Good morning. So, we're talking about intentionality. All right. Intentionality allows you to consciously focus your energy and actions on what truly matters. You have to know your why. Everybody has to know their why. All right. It has to know their why. And knowing your why leads you to a more purposeful meaning in life. All right. And knowing your why is really your purpose. What am I doing? What is it that I need to do? Accountability. What's that? Well, accountability is taking action. It's about reflecting and saying, hey, this is what I need to do. Accountability. You have to take account for your actions on why you did what you did. Accountability. Hey, I said I was gonna do this. I didn't do it. I'm sorry about that. I'm on. Well, yeah, because some of them don't know. Some of them don't know. But accountability, that's what it is. It's about saying to yourself, hey, I need to X, Y, and Z. This is a personal thing because everybody, first of all, don't know their purpose. So that's the first thing. You got to sit somewhere and pray about it. Find out what your purpose is. Find out what it is that you need to be doing for you. That's the first thing. Second thing is know why you're doing what you're doing. Know why. Know your why. Know your why. Okay, Amy, I'll pray for you. Y'all pray for Aunt Maddie. She's feeling a little sick. So, okay, I'll pray for you. Yes, ma'am. But know your why. No, people got to know why they're doing what they're doing. If you choose to say, hey, I'm done with this or I'm done with that. You got to know why you're done with it. If you choose to begin it, you got to know why you're starting it. People that start a business know why they start a business. People who switch careers know why they switching their careers. I would hope they do. I would hope they know why they switching their careers. I would hope they know why they starting this business. I know that people say I started a business to make money. I get it. I get it. I get it. But why else? Is that the only reason? That's it? You don't got no other reason why? It's got to be another reason. All right. Here's some key points on becoming more intentional. All right. Here's some key points. I'm going to point them out, a few of them this morning, because I really enjoy researching this. So here's some key points. All right. One key point about being intentional is clarity and focus. You heard me right. You heard me right. Clarity and focus. All right. That's a key point on being intentional. Why? Because by actively considering your priorities, you can eliminate distractions. Look at that. Ah! All right. By actively means some action, people. By actively considering your priorities, you can eliminate distractions. All right. And focus. All right. You got to actively say, these are my priorities, 1, 2, and 3. And guess what? This is where I'm at. And you have to eliminate the distraction. You have to eliminate what they call the background noise. All right. I hate to say it, but I gotta say it. Sometimes you can't be listening to certain folk. Okay. Because everybody's intentions are not good intentions. Everybody's intentions are not priority intentions. I'll put it that way. Okay. They're not thinking about you first. They're not thinking about, where you're trying to go. So you have to know who, you have to know why, you have to know what, and you have to know when, and you have to know where. You have to. All right. You have to. So clarity and focus is a key point. All right. Another key point for intentional is self-awareness. Intentionality encourages reflection on our actions and our choices. So being intentional shows us how to reflect. And again, we go back to that word that Brother Mike says, accountability. What's that? Because they don't know. Well, self-awareness. When you self-aware of what's going on, when you self-aware of how you are doing, when you're self-aware of, hey, you know what, let me backtrack, I didn't do that. What did I say that? I am so sorry, I didn't mean it. When you are self-aware of your actions and your choices, it helps. Look here, you're reflecting on them. That's accountability. That's accountability. You're keeping up. Hey, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. It's like a little board. All right. I told you guys yesterday that I do auto journaling. I talk. I talk. And I put it all in a record. Why? Because I go back and listen to it. I go back and listen to it and I say, on this day and this time, I said X, Y, and Z. So now I'm here. Did I do what I said I needed to do? All right. I reflect. Reflection is good. All right. Self awareness. All right. Being intentional encourages you to reflect on your actions and your choices. All right. Sometimes we choose and we have actions that are not always the best. Okay. They're not always the best. Not all the time. All right. And so guess what we have to do? We have to reflect, self-aware, self-aware. All right. What other key points does intentionality have for us? Being intentional also causes personal growth. Well, look here, people. Look here. Going into 2025 with its intentions and our intentionality and being intentional, we have to grow and go. We have to grow and go. And if you want to say grow, glow, and go, grow, glow, and go, grow, go, and glow, however you want to put it, but we got to get there. All right. We have to grow. All right. Personal growth. Some of us are in some spots that we've been in for some time. All right. We've been in for some time. And guess what? We just got to let it go. Yes, yes, yes. I said it. We have to let it go. All right. Some of us have been in some spots. All right. This is personal. And you have to look at yourself and say, yeah, I've been here for quite some time. And I think it's time for me to grow and go. Grow and go. So let's be intentional about that personal growth. Okay. Let's be intentional about that personal growth. We've been in some spots. I am too. Yes, brother. Look, maybe I got my hand up. Yes, me taking accountability. Yep. You got to take accountability. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Brother Mike raised his hand. He said he's one. He's growing in that spot of taking accountability. When you start to take accountability, that is growth. That is growth. When one can sit back and reflect and say, you know what, my actions and choices haven't been the best. They haven't been the best. That's growth. When you go back and say, you know what, I did good here, but I didn't do good there. And you might have been just mediocre. But you know that you need to grow. Guess what? That's good too. All right. So being intentional brings about personal growth. Guess what else it does? Ha! Stress reducer. Being intentional is a stress reducer. Why is it a stress reducer? I'm going to tell you why it's a stress reducer. See, a lot of times, you know what people go around and say? I'm overwhelmed. I've been there. I got too much on my plate. Like when you're at a buffet and they got all that food on their plate, you see people just piling plates. They got 2 and 3 just carrying them around, food falling all on the floor, gravy leaking and sauce and stuff is everywhere. Do you know why? Because they have too much on their plate. But do you see some people at the buffet where they have a poultry, which is a meat, they have a vegetable, they have a starch, probably a little fruit, and then, they might have a little piece of bread, but you can see all of their food. It is sectioned off. I got one of my sons, the baby boy, he don't like none of his food to touch. Reminds me of my daddy, may he rest in peace. That made me think of him. He don't like none of his food to touch, you see. So, stress reduce. Let's clean some of that plate off. All right. We don't need all that on our plate. You can always go back and get more. You don't need all that on your plate. Let's take some things off of our plate. Some things we don't need there. And here's the thing about having an overloaded plate. Trust me, I've been there where overwhelmed, overloaded plate. I've been there. Here's some things that you can do to kind of reduce some of that plate. Guess what? If you go up to the buffet and they got 8 different meats or 6 different meats that you want to taste, all 6 different meats. Now, I don't recommend it, but if you do, listen, you can probably try 2 meats and go back and get 2 more meats and go back and get 2 more meats. So what is that saying, Carol? That means if you got some things that you need to do, you can do them in 2s. You can do them one at a time. You can do them in 2s. All right. If you set yourself up for goal reaching opportunities, you are more likely to reach those goals when you set them in a way that they are obtainable. Okay. And that reduces stress. Don't try to throw all your goals into one big pot and say you're going to reach them in this time and then overwhelm yourself and you find yourself somewhere and your serotonin levels are all off and you're just all off and you just off kiltered and crying and mad, sad, happy and glad and just everything all at one time. Okay. Pace yourself. Clear again, like at a buffet. You ain't got to have your plate running over. All right. You don't have to do that. When your plate is full, you can't even see what's on your baby. Look here. When your plate is full, you can't see what's on it, nor are you going to eat all of it. You're going to taste some of it and the rest is gone. You're not even going to eat all that. And all your food is running together. So whereas you wanted a sweet taste, you got a savory. You wanted a savory taste, you got, so yes. When your plate, Sister Pooh said, when your plate is full, you can't even see what's on your plate. You done stacked all this food up on there. You can't see what's on there. You didn't cover, you wanted a piece of chicken. The chicken is covered with a piece of roast. The roast is covered with a piece of cornbread. The cornbread covered with greens. You got all this stuff on your plate. You can't even see it appropriately. So take some off, and then you can obtain some things. Because guess what? The plate is not so full. And when the plate is not so full, guess what? The plate is not so heavy. All right. And I understand we have a lot of cliches out there, if you bring it to it, it'll bring. I get all of that, but sometimes we have. Let me tell you something. God gives us sense too. He gives us sense. And I know a lot of us don't like to use it, but you got it. I think a lot of people just got a sign up there that just, says no sense at all. But we do have it. We have sense. And so here's the thing, you got to use it. Okay. You got to use it. All right. And so it is a stress reducer. All right. So we went over those key points today for being intentional. And going forth, I want you all to just, if you have to rewind this and go back to it, rewind it and go back to it. Because intentionality allows, hey, nurse, hey, Pooh, good morning. Intentionality allows us to consciously focus our energy and actions on what truly, truly matters. All right. It's leading us to having a more purposeful life. All right. It increases our self-awareness. It's help us have better decision making, and it gives us greater fulfillment. All right. Some other key points, it's clarity and focus. All right. We consider our priorities and we eliminate distractions. All right. We have to have self-awareness. All right. Intentionality encourages us to reflect on our actions and our choices. All right. It gives us personal growth, and it can be a stress reducer. I want to leave you guys with this today. I want to leave you with this. This is what your affirmation is for today. All right. And when I give y'all these affirmations, if you have to write them down because you can take them daily. Do it with passion or not at all. You ain't got no passion in what you're doing, then don't even do it at all. Because you ain't got no passion in it, it ain't gonna come out right. All right. You got to have some passion about what you're doing. So do it with passion or not at all. All right. If you ain't got no passion in it, then just don't even do it. All right. Don't even do it. Do it with passion or not at all. And then I want to leave you with this question for you all to think about. All right. Today on December 10th. Are you building meaningful connections with people around you? Are you building meaningful connections with them? Think about that. Think about that on today. Make it personal. Am I? Let me make it personal for me. Am I building meaningful connections with the people around me, or are they just around me? And if I'm building meaningful connections, what are these meaningful connections going to do for us? That means the people around you, and all the folks that's there. What is it going to do? Okay. All right. I want you guys to remember to live, love, never ever stop laughing. Subscribe to my YouTube. All right, subscribe to my TikTok. I got it all out there for you. All right, I'm on all of them. TikTok at 8:00, and then 8:30, I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. All right. Remember, on Thursday, I will not be on. All right, but I will return on Friday. I will return on Friday morning. I want you guys to remember to live, love, never ever stop laughing. Always, always, always find room to forgive, because ain't none of us perfect. And I want you guys to have a beautiful, beautiful day. And remember that you are enough. You are loved, you are wanted, and you are definitely needed. Have a great day. Love y'all.